Alright guys, thought I'd just show you some of the guns that I've built from scratch and just kind of go over them real briefly. So this is one I built quite a while ago. These are all 22 caliber handguns and they are all unloaded. So this one, very simple design. The bolt just comes back, you load around and bolt closes and fires. So this one's actually not functioning right now because the back of the gun, this part's wood and it just broke off. So there was a spring in here that kept tension on the firing pin. The bolt system would have worked pretty well. I didn't do a very good job with my tolerances, so it's just not very smooth. It's kind of gets hung up and kind of is what it is, but it would have worked. And moving on, very small handgun, just a very simple hammer design, and there's a little tab that comes up. It's attached to the hammer that doesn't allow the shell to drop out, and it works, other than sometimes the shell will actually blow this hammer back for some reason. There we go. The shell will sometimes actually blow this hammer back and possibly hit you in the face when you're shooting. So all in all, pretty much a worthless design, but it was fun to build and didn't take too long. So this next one, this bolt is in two separate pieces. So you cock this back and there's another section of bolt back here that locks from the sear pin, and so you just hold this back, load your round. This is just a very light spring that allows this part to come right behind the shell to hold it in place, and then when you pull the trigger, the round fires off. So this design actually worked really well, and in some cases the round actually, when it's fired, it actually blows this back and ejects the empty shell. So that's kind of cool. It doesn't do it consistent enough to do it every time, but I kind of have an idea with a design similar to this to actually try to make a semi-auto magazine fed gun, and took advantage of the hollow handle and just stored some rounds and some cardboard. So but anyway, for now, single shot, it works really well. Never had any misfires with it. This design it's just one section of bolt right here. So you just pull this back, and this one, if you can see, there's a little tab down there that spring loaded. It pops up right behind the shell, so it holds the shell that way. Then when you just pull a trigger, it comes forward. So a design issue that I had with this one is I needed to make this section of bolt longer, so it would be contained in this housing to where it can't tilt up like that, because basically the firing pin doesn't align with the primer correctly and misfires sometimes. So all in all, it would have worked if I just designed it a little bit differently. The tab worked great as far as holding the shell in place. So there's that. These next two guns, I actually have full-length videos on how I built those, but I'll just go over it real quick. So this is another two-piece bolt design. This one, unlike the other handgun, it does not have a spring. So this is just loose in there right now. For some reason, it's kind of getting hung up. But anyways, so you just put your shell in there. Again, it just has I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but it's just a built-in firing pin again. And you close this, lock it in place, and when you pull the trigger, it fires the round. So the system works really well. Haven't had any misfires with this also. If you haven't seen the video on this, this gun I built to break down into 3 really small parts, so just for packing or whatever. And then this one is just a very simple break barrel, and it probably functions the best out of all of them. Just very simple. You load a round in, close it, this lever locks the barrel in place, pull the hammer back, and hits the firing pin and sets it off. So just a very simple design, but very effective also. So with all these guns, one thing I found is when I'm shooting standard 22, high velocity or whatever, like take this gun for instance, a lot of times I'll shoot it and the shell will get stuck in the chamber because I struggle being able to build a ejector just because I don't have the tools that would make it very easy to build. So what I found is these, I don't know if this will focus, but it's just called a quiet 22. They're still a 40 grain bullet, but they only shoot at 710 feet per second. And I think what happens with these is there's not enough powder to expand the casing. And so with this gun, the round will actually fire and blow back and eject the empty shell pretty easily. So it makes it very nice. Obviously they don't shoot it as high a velocity or whatever, but like this gun, when I shoot it, I'll break this barrel and the shell actually just ejects, just flies right out of there, and just makes it a lot easier and fun to shoot. You can always use a pocket knife or fingernail and pull some of the other shells out, but it's just kind of nice when you open up the chamber and the round falls right out. So with that, I'm actually thinking about trying to figure out a design to build a semi-auto where the shell will eject and rechamber it, possibly without having an ejector built into the gun, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, just thought I'd do a quick overview of some of the guns I built, give you some ideas that didn't work so well and some other ideas that worked okay. So thanks for watching.